What's going on, everybody? It's me, John, with Rockbranded, where rock bands get rock solid branding. Today is day 15, May 15, 2019. I'm still doing the vlog every day in May challenge. Like I said, yesterday was kind of the halfway point. And what I wanted to talk about today is I am revisiting an old video that I did on my other channel, Realistic Industries. Shameless plug right there. Let me get that out of the way. That basically kicked off the whole Rockbranded brand, basically. And basically what I went into was I went into talking about why rock and roll is getting its ass kicked by hip hop these days. And basically I went over a couple of different things, and it's, you know, people can say like, well, you know, the public doesn't want to hear rock music anymore. The public doesn't want this. The public doesn't want that. It's like, and you know, hip hop and R&B gets played all over the radio, and it's more pop accessible. And that's all fine and well. I'm sure that's all really, really true. But if you really, really look at it, I see very, very often a lot of people in the hip hop community tend to put themselves out there a little more than most rock people do. Right away, they look at their hip hop band or their hip hop group as a band. They look at it as a brand. They look at other ways that they can make money to do it. They can look at other ways to like get their name out there. They're out there handing out, doing mixtapes. They're out there basically creating their productions and getting it into people's hands, which is, you gotta really take your hat off to them, because they're doing a lot of the hard legwork. Like if you look into, like, everyone's talking about Nipsey Hussle, and part of the reason why Nipsey Hussle is famous isn't because he had a contract and had all sorts of distribution deals with people, and people were blowing him up, and he was getting played on the radio and put on MTV, or his YouTube videos were getting put up. He was going out there and meeting people and shaking hands and kissing babies and all that stuff. He was like campaigning like a politician. And I think that rock artists need to start doing this a lot more. You're crazy if you think that there isn't like an audience out there for you. There is. There's tons of kids out there who want to learn how to play guitar, want to learn how to play drums, and we need to like create a scene for them. I mean, you know, it's like, if we don't, rock and roll is just going to die out. I mean, it's going to become like classical music. It's going to be like a footnote to music. Like, who really, you know, it's like there are people who still play classical music and they're great and everything, but, you know, it's like it's a very small percentage of people. So if you love rock music, it's really, really important that you go look and analyze what these hip hop people are doing, and you need to mirror it and do it yourself. Like I said, they do a lot of groundwork, they do a lot of legwork, they're not afraid to make money. Too often we get in this artist mindset where it's like, oh, you know, it's like it's bad to make money. It's not bad to make money. It's fine to make money. You don't have to make millions and millions of dollars, but if you could make rock and roll and play music your vocation and your occupation, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, seriously, I made a video a couple of days ago about like based off of the 1,000 True Fans theory, and how you can like eventually phase out your day job if you like really start promoting your music well. I think you need to look into different ways that you can sell your merchandise, different ways that you can have people pay for streaming, different things like that. But really and truly, get out there and start doing the groundwork. Get out there and make some friends. And basically, your first 100 to 200 to 500 fans in your fan base are all going to be personal friends or personal acquaintances that you make. You need to make those kind of personal relationships. You need to get on a face-to-face basis with people. It's not going to be like it was back in the 70s and the 60s and stuff like that, where you get discovered, or you get a good gig at like Woodstock and you play in front of 500,000 people and people are blown away. That just doesn't happen anymore. That's not going to happen. You need to get out there. You need to get your music heard. You need to be friendly with your audience. You need to interact with people. You need to talk to other bands who are in your genre. Talk to other YouTubers in your genre. I mean, think about it. It's like, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but it's like I've been doing, I've been resharing a lot of the guitarists that I follow on YouTube and Instagram, because they're building themselves these massive audiences, and they're probably people that you've never heard of. People like Tyler Larson, people like Robert Baker, people like Family Jewels. These guys are all really phenomenal guitar players, and they got tons of followers, and it's all on YouTube. There's nothing on MTV. It's nothing in Rolling Stone magazine or on Rolling Stone's website or anything like that. This is all guys who just built their own audiences themselves, and I really, really, really implore you guys to do the same thing for yourselves. So often I see people like, you know, they print out a bunch of flyers for their show, and which is great. It's great to hand out a flyer or two, but I mean, really, it's not really terribly effective. You really need to talk to people. What I would suggest very often you should do is, like, if you get some sort of a Spotify download or something like that, get yourself a couple of flash drives that you can record your album on and sell it to people. Sell it to people as a flash drive. People are always looking for flash drives. They're really cheap. You can get them real cheap on Amazon. You buy a whole bunch of them. You record your demo or you record your album on it and stuff, and say to people like, hey, here's a flash drive. I'll charge you $5 for it, but hey, my music's on it. Why don't you give it a listen before you check it out? Just stupid little shit like that to get people to listen to your music, to get people to build your fan base. Start yourself an email list. Get all over social media. Start pushing yourselves. Start really, really pushing yourselves, because the thing is, no one else is going to do it for you. You're not going to sign a contract and someone's going to do all these things for you anymore. And if you do that, if you are like one of the lucky ones who get contracts like that, you're going to get screwed by the record label. Why? Because you have no leverage. If you do all the groundwork like I'm saying here, you guys will have all the leverage, because if like some sort of big distribution company comes to you with like a deal that's going to fuck you over, you can say, you know something, we really don't need it. We're doing okay as we are because we built our audience ourselves. So you want that kind of fuck you power. That's the type of power that you guys want to have, especially as independent artists, especially as musicians. But literally, you guys got to get out and do the work. That's the thing. Don't be lazy. Get out there, do the work, and make yourselves huge. Build yourselves an audience. Go out there, and like I said, the first 100 people in your audience, they're all going to be friends. They're all going to be acquaintances, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great way to build an audience, because what you do is they become your rabid fan base. They're dying to see you blow up. You know what I mean? So they can be like, oh, I knew them when you only had 100 fans. People love and live for shit like that. People love to be the first one in line to discover you. People love that. People live for that. And then when you start really, really blowing up, they're the first ones that are like, oh, I remember them when they were really good. You know what I mean? That's the type of fans you want to get. Anyway, this is John. Thank you for listening to me rant. I'm going to put a link to that video before. It's more of an edited video, but it's basically the video that kicked off Rockbranded. It's, like I said, it's on my other page, Realistic Industries. But go check that out. Check out that video. I brought up some good points in it, and it's edited really, really well by my girl, Melanie Stardust. You know, I've been blowing her up a lot lately because she needs it and stuff, you know, and I love her. She's so hot. I love that and stuff. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. This is John from Rockbranded. We're rock bands. Get rock solid branding. And I'm out.